I converted my personal profile into professional mode. This is not a business page. This is my personal profile that I converted. And so in the last 10 months, it went from 5,000 to 827,000, and it's still growing really rapidly.
How would you like to double, triple, quadruple the revenue in your business? Well, my guest today did just that, mostly thanks to Reels. Yep, short form vertical video is an increasingly powerful content type, and the businesses that are embracing it are crushing it. Let's find out more. G'day and welcome back to the Engage Video Marketing Podcast, where I help you grow as a confident video strategist. And it's episodes like this one today that fire me up, as there's so much gold coming your way over the next little while that you don't want to go anywhere. So I was first introduced to my guest today when he was mentioned as a case study during the opening keynote at Social Media Marketing World 2023. And it was his massive success on Facebook Reels in particular that piqued my interest. And so I've invited him on the show today to share more. And be sure to watch to the end because he shares a Reels engagement hack that it's kind of nuts, and I know you'll want to adapt this for your own videos when you hear it. Okay, so Austin Armstrong is a lifelong digital marketer, public speaker, host of the TikTok podcast Business Talk, CEO of Socialty Pro, an organic SEO and vertical video marketing agency, and CEO of Syllabi, a brand new marketing tool that helps business owners create social media content strategies in minutes. And Austin has posted over 2,500 videos on TikTok, tripling his own business's revenue and thousands more across his clients' accounts. Austin has leveraged his success on TikTok to gain millions of followers across every social media platform. And let me tell you, his journey and willingness to share what he's learned along the way is incredible. So enough from me, let's jump right into the interview with Austin Armstrong. Hey, Austin, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for being here, mate.
Ben, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
I appreciate your time and you joining me here. For our listeners on the podcast here today, you first came to my attention. You're actually mentioned in the keynote of Social Media Marketing World with Mike Stelzner, the CEO of Social Media Examiner, and he kind of used you as a bit of a case study about the rise of short form video, particularly on Facebook Reels, and that has prompted so much for me as a video strategist as we've kind of gone on from there. So it's a great opportunity to bring you on the show and talk about that, but also talk about some other awesome stuff you've going on in the world of AI. And this is going to be a fantastic conversation. So I'm really looking forward to it. Before we get into some of that stuff though, I'd love for you to just share a little bit about, well, really what led you into starting your agency in the first place. Like, where did that come from?
Yeah, so I've been doing social media marketing for most of my life, over 18 years at this point. So I actually started when I was 14 years old on MySpace, of all platforms. I just got bit by that bug, figured out very early on, very happenstance of how to gain a large following online, and I've more or less been doing it ever since. Now, fast forward to about 8 years ago, I moved out to California and stumbled into an internship at a video marketing agency. And they really specialize in the behavioral health space, drug and alcohol treatment centers, therapists, psychologists, behavioral health experts. And I really loved that. I really loved working with those professionals. I loved everything that went into video marketing. We were very YouTube first. It was an interesting business model that ultimately didn't work out. But it was fascinating, and we did so much video. We had a daily 4-hour long live stream, bringing on large guests. It was just a wonderful, fascinating experience to grow with it. And that really changed the trajectory of my life. So I went from unpaid intern to part-time to paid intern to part-time employee to a full-time employee. And that led me to being ultimately head of digital marketing for several businesses, drug and alcohol treatment centers mostly. And then 4 years ago, I started my agency with my boss from that internship. So he's been a mentor to me and has been a wonderful asset to my life. And so while that was a a failure from a business model perspective. We took the lessons that we learned from that and really started this Socialty Pro, the full service organic focused social media marketing agency about 4 years ago, and it's been phenomenal. And I really went full time uh, about 3 years ago now. So I guess 2.5, 3 years ago now. Yeah, so it was in the middle of the pandemic. The agency was very much a part-time side hustle that we were, I was just growing as a extra hours, early mornings, late nights type of thing. And I had gotten fired from my job. And so I was faced with this decision in the middle of the pandemic. Do I bet on myself and go all in on this agency and lean into entrepreneurship and see what I'm made of? Or do I try and find a job in the middle of the pandemic, entirely remote? Side note here about me, I don't have any college degree because I went this internship route. School wasn't my path, and so I talked to my wife, I talked to my business partner, and it was a pretty clear decision to bet on myself and to try and go all in. And that was the best decision that I could have made. And since has been an absolute whirlwind, and I'm just getting started, but it's been a wonderful journey.
Yeah, incredible journey, and well done on taking that step. It's not an easy step to step out from potential safety, but I think the pandemic probably pushed a lot of people into places they hadn't considered moving before.
Hmm.
So that's really cool. So tell me today with Socialty Pro, you mentioned it's an organic social media marketing agency. So what's the core of what you do, and who do you serve within your agency?
Yeah, we mostly work with service-based businesses. We still have a strong emphasis in the behavioral health space, so we work a lot with drug and alcohol treatment centers, doctors, psychologists, therapists, group practices. But we've also worked with many medical doctors in different areas of practice, lawyers, um, any backyard pond builder, you name it. You offer a service. That's really our area of expertise, and we are entirely organic focused. We have an SEO side of the agency, so full service content writing, content strategy, link building, implementation, local SEO, and then we have the social media arm as well, which really came later. I mean, we really focused heavily on SEO at the beginning and YouTube for the social media and video component. Uh, but I leverage TikTok as a lead generation platform for our SEO side of business. And it worked so well. It got so many clients. I started to gain a sizable following on there that other businesses started to reach out and ask if we could help them with their TikTok, with their social media and vertical video content strategy. And that has become so successful that that is 90% of our clients now is just organic focused on short form vertical video content strategy, because that's where the market's gone. TikTok really came and blew everything out of the water and forced change. And so all of these other platforms follow suit after. YouTube Shorts rolled out, Instagram Reels rolled out, Facebook Reels rolled out, and it's all of these platforms have really embraced this format, and so it's been a great opportunity to be a thought leader in that space and develop us as one of the leading experts and agencies in short form vertical video marketing.
So I love that focus on short form vertical. And so to take me back to when you started using TikTok to promote your agency, how were you feeling in the early stages there? Were you like, new platform, possible opportunity, I'm just gonna give it a crack and see? Like what, or were you being really strategic, like I'm gonna do this and it's gonna lead to this? Like what was your thought process at the start? Like did you think it would actually drive
Yeah,
results for your agency?
I, I didn't know. I don't think anyone really knew. So I'm a big Gary V fan, and I had bought crushing it when that book came out, follow up to Crush It, awesome book series. And I'd been listening to Gary's podcast and everything for a long time, and he was shoving this down our throats for a while. You got to get on TikTok. It's going to be the hottest new platform. It's the biggest thing, you know. And I said, I said, fine, Gary, I'll get on this thing and see what it's all about. And I procrastinated it a little while. And this was 2019. Yeah, October of 2019 is when I posted my first video. And I know that because I've looked back a couple times. Um, I thought I was late at the time. 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, I thought I was late to the platform.
Yeah,
But
but not. But
when I
you were
first
actually early. Yeah,
very early, and I still think it's early. Here we are, 3.5 years later. But
right.
I had no direction when I first got started. I think I was just doing random content, trying to figure it out. I think I spent the first couple weeks actually just observing. I don't think I posted anything. I think I was just scrolling through and just learning the platform a little bit and seeing what it was all about, seeing what the hype was about. And then I started to get the courage and learn how the app works a little bit and started posting some stuff. And it wasn't all business at first. It was, trying trends, trying cat videos, a little bit of sharing useful websites and sharing digital marketing tips. And there was no cohesion on my platform whatsoever.
Did you do any
And
dancing?
so I unfortunately I did try a couple dances. Nobody wants to see that. They completely flopped.
I'm
And
gonna go and find them.
so, I did that for maybe a month or so and gained like such little traction. And but I still thought there was some sort of opportunity here, and I always give credit where credit's due. There I had saw a webinar come up from Rachel Peterson, who's still very active on the platform. I don't know if you know who Rachel is. She's amazing.
Yeah.
I attended her webinar on how to use TikTok for business, and something in that webinar really clicked for me. And her approach to finding relevant hashtags and applying that to the services that you offer really resonated with me as an SEO. And I said, oh, this makes so much sense. Just create content around what people are searching for. This makes so much sense on this platform. And after that webinar, I gave myself an ultimatum and I said, I'm going to only talk about the products and services that I offer for 30 days straight. I'm going to create one video a day, every single day. And if I don't get any sense of traction after doing this for 30 days, maybe this is not the platform for me. And I'll try, maybe I'll stick with it, but I'll try something else. I'm going to put my energy to something else. And when you commit and give yourself a time limit like that, magic starts to happen. And it just worked. It started to click. One video had popped after doing that for a short period of time. And all of these questions in the comments started coming in, and followers started to come in. And I immediately started to do video responses to every single comment to really build that trust and rapport with the audience. And that really exploded the account early on. And I've just never stopped in the last 3.5 years. I said, there's something here. I'm going to continue with this, and I'm going to continue with it as long as I can go, as far as I can go. And it's really carried me to where I am today.
And are you still at a daily frequency, like posting one or more a day? Like, what's your frequency now on TikTok?
Yeah, at a minimum one per day. That I've become quite busy, which is a good problem to have. Uh, I'm at that state where if I don't create, I feel bad. So I have to create, or I'll just like if I'm out of town or on vacation or on a work trip or speaking out of town or something, and I don't feel creative or I'm sick, I'll just repost an older video. I'll download it and repost it for that consistency. But I have to post something every single day. And so sometimes it's more than that. Sometimes it's two, three, four videos a day if I'm really feeling creative and I have the time. But at a very minimum, it's daily content. absolutely. This is the consistency muscle I've built, and I will continue it as long as I can.
Now, I've got to imagine that to be consistent and to continue with that focus on short form and TikTok, particularly over that period of time, is it's getting results for you, right? So, obviously, you're growing that channel, you're growing that follower base on that platform. But how is that translating into business for your agency, for example?
Yeah, it's been phenomenal. So from the agency over the last 3.5 years, really the last 2.5 years, we've done just shy of $2 million in revenue, and that's largely from TikTok. Um, Lately, I've had, the last 10 months, I've had a significant growth on all of the other social media platforms, which has impacted that as well. But yeah, tremendously, and it's simple. It's just creating content around the wants, needs, and desires of who you are trying to reach, showcasing the services, educating around your expertise, showing that you have the results to back up what you're talking about, showing case studies, showing happy clients, showing examples, going on live and answering those questions in real time, and continuing to just show up every single day, providing as much value as you can and making it really easy for them to contact you. So in your bio on TikTok or whatever social media platform, really clearly just who you are, who you serve, what you do. Here's a call to action link to schedule a call with me. And it's surprisingly easy. And so many people think it's just top of funnel, and fine, but it can be so much more than that. And, say what you will about TikTok. I have personally generated so much business from it. You can deny it or laugh all you want. I'm still collecting.
Yeah, yeah. No, there's no doubt. And is that how you're attributing those results through that link in the bio? So you're tracking
Oh, yeah.
activity through that link, yeah?
Absolutely. Yep. I've never spent a dollar on advertising, actually.
Yeah,
I'm so stubborn about organic content creation, almost to a fault. But, but yeah, it's just, so I use, Stan, right now, which is a link in bio tool, but I just drive all of my traffic to that. I get inbound traffic analytics, so I can see how much traffic came from TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, etc. How many people click on that schedule a call with me link, and then I have a questionnaire on the actual Calendly link, which is what I use for my booking, and then I sell on the calls. It's a funnel that's worked really
amazing.
well.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thanks for sharing that. And I'm interested,
Yeah.
you have an agency behind you of some form. I'm not sure of the size of the agency, but when it comes to creating content, vertical content in this style, TikTok style or Reels or other platform style, um, how are you going about the production on a consistent basis? Are you doing this all yourself, or are you plugging in a team behind you to do that?
So for myself, it's me. For our clients, we have a full team. So we have 10 employees right now, dedicated account managers, content strategists, dedicated success managers, editors, the whole 9 yards. And that's what we plug all clients into, and they've been personally trained by me. My content creation is my uh, artistic creativity flow. And so I have
Yeah,
never handed that off to anybody. In fact, nobody has access to any of my social media accounts except for me. And I probably could or should hand that off, but I just like doing it so much. I've hired for all of the other things in my life, and all of the other jobs and tasks and duties, so that all I need to do and all I can do is create, because that's all I want to do is create content.
yeah.
So yeah, from every day, I loosely storyboard the content, I shoot the content, I edit it all on my phone, I post it natively on every app myself.
Yeah, and I imagine it's a great maintaining the control of that on your own channels is a great opportunity for you. as a strategist as well to experiment, to play, to try things that
Oh yeah.
maybe you can, if they work, you can then, train your team or roll them out for your clients as well. So I
Yep.
think that's a really good way to approach it.
Yeah,
You mentioned
100%.
there, yeah, go ahead.
It gives me a hand on the pulse, 100%.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. You mentioned there posting natively into individual apps. So, um, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're producing, one short form vertical video on a particular platform or using a particular piece of software. Maybe you can share what that is, but then you're taking that same piece and you're putting it into all of the vertical platforms, into Facebook Reels,
Yep.
into Instagram Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, I
Mhm,
assume, and you're doing that all natively. Can you walk us through your process? Are you creating in one app and
mhm.
then repurposing in many?
Yeah, so, great question. So I edit everything in CapCut, uh, wonderful, very powerful editing app on your
Yeah,
phone. And in fact, I'm just on the free plan. I don't even pay for it. So there's literally no excuses anymore, people. It's just such a powerful free app. But yeah, I
yeah,
edit everything in CapCut, and then I will natively upload that video onto each platform. I've anecdotally found my sort of belief is that the platforms prefer native uploading to scheduled third-party softwares, but it's still better to use a scheduling software than to not post. So it depends on your time allocation for that. But yeah, so I will upload natively to TikTok, and I'll add background music there if needed. I will add any sort of like um, uh, thumbnail text on that. And then just for YouTube, because I don't like the YouTube short editor, I will download the TikTok video watermark for using snaptic.com and post that to YouTube Shorts, the edited TikTok version. But then specifically on Facebook Reels and specifically on Instagram Reels, I will upload that same raw file from CapCut and add in background music, or any other filters or anything that I need to natively in the app.
right. So just to clarify that, in case our listeners missed that, you're creating, I guess, the base storyline of your video in CapCut, and then you're
Mm-hmm.
downloading that file to your phone and then uploading that natively to the Reels creator, the Reels editor tool, or the TikTok video editor, and then you're adding in additional platform native filters, text, music,
Yep.
that sort of stuff is going to be unique to the platform. An extra step, but are you seeing that that is making a difference as far as that then the platform believes it's being created within its own ecosystem? Is that the thought process there?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, interesting. Because personally, for myself, I've been, since being inspired at social media marketing world, I've been deliberately making a point to post or upload directly to Facebook Reels using the Facebook
Mm-hmm.
platform and app, which I hadn't
Yeah.
really been paying much attention to before, and it's been working really well as far as my Facebook Reels
Good.
engagement. Is going really well, but I have been, and maybe it's a shortcut which I shouldn't be doing, is ticking that little checkbox that says also post to Instagram. And I've been noticing that the reels on Instagram that are being pushed through from Facebook are just, it's going nowhere. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
So
I guess that's a fair,
that's one of Yeah, that's one of the biggest misconceptions I think, or opportunities that's being looked over for Facebook Reels, is that people are just checking that box when they upload an Instagram Reels, also share it to Facebook Reels. You're missing out on a massive opportunity. Take the extra 10 minutes and go on the Facebook app and natively upload that as a reel through their platform, because you're going to reach far more people.
yeah. Well, and exactly, and what I'm talking about there is the reverse as well, because I've been
Right, sure.
uploading to Facebook Reels and ticking that box to shoot it back the other way, and I'm getting that same response. So, I think what
Yeah.
you're saying there, which I hope our listeners are taking on board here, is to go that even one step further than that, and to look at adding some native elements, via the video editing tool within those Reels publishing platforms that are unique to those platforms as well. So, that's something I haven't tried before. So I've just been creating in a third party tool and uploading it without adding anything extra. So that's got me thinking. So I might change what I'm doing. Thank you for that.
Yeah, try it's all about experimentation, finding out
Yeah,
what works best
absolutely.
for you and doubling down on what works.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me about that that rise off TikTok. So you started on TikTok. You realized
Mhm,
there's some traction here to be made for my agency. I'm getting results when it comes to vertical short form video in this style. And at that stage, I guess earlier on, you were just going, I'm just going to post the same content to Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels because I've already got it, right? But then
mhm.
you started to see traction. You mentioned before more and more traction on other platforms as well. So what's that journey been for you, and what's that look like now? I mean, I just checked before we jumped on here, and on Facebook alone, you've got 827,000 followers. I don't know how that compares to your TikTok, but that's for Facebook. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Facebook's actually now my number one platform, which is
Who would have
absolutely
thought it?
crazy to me. Because it was TikTok for years, and the growth on Facebook has really just been in 10 months. I went from 5,000 connections, which is just friends and family, and a key difference here, by the way, is I converted my personal profile into professional mode. This is not a business page. This is my personal profile that I converted. And so in the last 10 months, it went from 5,000 to 827,000, and it's still growing really rapidly. Um, some of the key differences is I was just dumping all of my content from TikTok over to these other platforms kind of without purpose, just duplicate content, dump it, here you go. I was the TikTok guy for a while, and I didn't want to just be the TikTok guy. And I it's so dangerous to put all your eggs in one basket on one platform. And point
Yeah.
proven, my TikTok account has gotten banned twice. I've got it restored twice, but it was, in quotes for the listeners, permanently banned twice. It was ridiculous. If I was only on TikTok, I would be screwed. My entire lead generation uh, platform would be gone. And so I never want to be put in a corner like that where I'm just so fragile, And so I was just dumping all of this content and it wasn't really working. There was no, while the content was working on TikTok, just everything and anything wasn't working on all these other platforms. So I had to focus on really understanding the finesse of each platform and the cadence of each platform, little optimization things, and really just focusing not on posting every video, but being selective of what videos that I chose. And so it also around the same time, and this really rapid growth has only happened over the last 10 months, really. But I shifted my content strategy to 90% sharing useful websites for and AI websites for business owners and entrepreneurs. And that was a long-winded strategy to eventually promote my tool, Syllabi. But I changed the delivery of that content as well. And so rather than just me sharing useful websites, I adopted a very popular style of content, which is this conversation style, where you're cutting back and forth between talking to yourself in different outfits, but communicating educational content. And so I took a proven winning style before and applied my content strategy to it and created something fresh and something new that people really hadn't seen before, but was still relatable because that's a proven winning formula. And when I switched to that format, it worked really well across the board. And so I just sort of doubled down on that. And so now most of my content is just that conversational style of talking about useful websites for business owners and entrepreneurs. And I talk a lot about different AI tools and AI websites that have come out. And that, along with some engagement hacks that I've snuck into my content as well, I'm happy to talk about if you want. I figured out how to sort of manipulate and game engagement on the content. So between those two things, it's just been a astronomical growth over the last 10 months.
Yeah, well, so much in that that I want to dive into. I think first of all, I'd love to just highlight what you said there around taking something or trying something that is already working on the platform, which is this style of video delivery of playing two characters, but you're the same person and cutting back and forth that you feel that you can achieve, right? Which obviously it's something that doesn't require someone else. You can do it yourself. You can
Yeah.
achieve it fairly easily, just editing in app and things like that, but also then putting your layer of content, your approach, your niche on top of that, I think is something that's really smart. And obviously you don't know what's going to work. But then the second
Yeah.
part I wanted to highlight is when it did work, when you saw that that was taking off, you doubled down on that. You didn't go, okay, well
Mhm.
that worked. Let's just try another thing and see if I can get something else to
Right.
work. Instead, you went, this works, right? And you say 90% of what you do now is basically that same
Yeah.
recipe?
Yeah. Yeah. Why switch if it's still working?
Yeah. Well,
Double
that's I mean,
down
that's
until it becomes, until I need to innovate again. But, it's still working. So,
that's a lesson in and of itself, is if it's not broke, don't fix it, So, and obviously it's working for you, which is incredible. So, I wanna talk about these engagement hacks. You talked about that, and I think we can't let that one go. So tell me, can you share, what are some of these hacks that you're doing
yeah.
to kind of keep people engaged or keep them rewatching and so on?
Yeah, so I sort of stumbled upon the fact that it's easier to get negative engagement on posts than it is to get positive engagement on posts. And think about this, right? Because if you accidentally make an error in anything that you do or anything that you post, uh, what happens? People run to the comments to correct you, right? To point out
Yes.
your flaws, to assert their egos, the trolls, right? There's always trolls when it comes to creating content. It's the nature of the game. If you're self-conscious about something, they'll find it, they'll latch onto it, and they'll bring it up, right? And so, I came to realize, in addition to that, that the platforms don't care if the engagement is positive or negative. They just want more engagement, right? And so I said, let me try something. And so I started to troll the trolls. And so I will mispronounce words on purpose in my videos. I'll share a website as an example. I bring up this example all the time, but answersocrates.com, and I'll just casually say answersocrates.com. And that always pisses
Pisses
people
people
off.
off.
I, I've done that. I've shown that same website 50 times. Every single time I do the same little gimmick. I mispronounce it on purpose. And without a doubt, tons, 30, 40 comments come in saying Socrates. They'll phonetically spell it out in the comments. Or I will, so I'm sharing a lot of useful websites. And right below the website, I will plant a little folder that says something like, right now, for instance, I have Hillary Clinton NUD dot dot dot, and I just leave it cut off. And so I don't mention it, but it's there in clear sight, very visible. Or I'll put like how to hide a dead body like below it or something, or
Yeah.
Hunter Biden laptop files.
Something that
Really
is gonna spark people. Yeah.
something, yeah, something that's gonna cause people to be like, "What? What did
Yeah.
I just see? Are we gonna talk about this thing?" And so what does that do? It forces people to rewatch the video to make sure that they saw that thing there, right? Increasing your watch duration of your video. And then they run to the comments to assert their ego and point out and make fun of you, try and make fun of you. uh, you know, correct your spelling error, point out this weird thing that they think was an accident that you have in your folder, or I'll mess up my hair, or I'll make my glasses all weird, or something, right? Just so that they will come to the comments and assert themselves. And you don't need to take it as an extreme that I do, but there's a great concept in this strategy about planting Easter eggs in your content that becomes an inside joke for your audience, your true fans, right? And so what you're ultimately doing is you're leveraging the trolls to elevate your content and bring in your loyal fans on an inside joke. So what this does is when anybody runs to the comments to point out, one of the folders that I have, or correct a spelling on something, people will, it'll create comment strings, and someone will say, I thought I was the only one to see this. Let's talk about this. It gets a bunch of upvotes and stuff. But the fans come and know that it's a joke, right? The regular attendees. So now they look for it, and they'll respond back like, "Ha, he gotcha," or like, "First time here, huh?" Because they're in on that insider joke. And that is a really powerful psychological strategy that you can implement in your content to increase engagement and build that loyal trust with your true fans.
Man, I love that, and I love how strategic you're being about something that seems so unstrategic, effectively. And, I've seen that. I've seen that same engagement, hack in other places, and I think, being a video strategist, I tend to notice that, and I tend to know that I'm being hacked in that way. Not always. I'll tell you, I've definitely fallen for it, but yeah, I love that idea that it's actually prompting that engagement. My question to you though, because you do work with, obviously this works for your own brand, your own content, and you've found that balance in it and what works for you. How would you apply this, or how do you feel that businesses can apply this when they're using this style of content for a business when there probably is a little bit more hesitation in
Yeah.
some of these tactics? Do you understand where I'm going
Yeah.
with that?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And you have to lean into your comfort level on this stuff. So, I've talked a lot with. I'll give you one example that we've actually done with a client, but I've also talked to a lot of real estate agents, and so I've come up with a lot of ideas for them in particular. But, it could be just something as simple as when you're doing a house tour, which is a very common style of video for realtors. What $500,000 can get you in Dallas, Texas, for instance, right? And
Sure.
so if you just do something really silly like having someone dress up in a Bigfoot costume, and just without notice, they just, walk through the backyard in a really funny way, right? It's going to
Yeah.
cause people to run to the comments and be like, did anyone else see Bigfoot? What's up with that weird ape or something in the comment, right? Or, you can do a recurring thing. Like I was chatting with another guy, and he has this little stuffed animal dog called Wolfie, I think its name was, right? And so I was chatting with him. We were talking through ideas, and what we came up with was, a where's Wolfie in every video, like an elf on a shelf type thing. In every video, Wolfie's going to be in a different weird area or something, right? And so he can encourage that regular engagement with his fans to run to the comments and say, "Oh, I found Wolfie! Like he's in the bookshelf or something like that," right? Like that's a great way. And a really funny example, we have one client that he's got a great sense of humor too. And so he buys and sells like gold and diamonds and jewelry, and melts it down and sells it for more and stuff. And so he had a bag of gold teeth from deceased people. Gold, you can
As you
buy
do.
these gold teeth and melt the gold out of it and sell it for a lot of money. And so he different shots throughout, but he just bare hand like pulled these teeth out of the bag and put it down. And then at the end of the video, he licks his finger and goes, "This deal's finger licking good." And so that set people off like crazy, because he's like, "Oh my gosh, did you wash your hands in between? What? That's disgusting. You just bare hand those teeth, licked your fingers." And so that set off the comments like crazy. So there's so many different creative things that you can implement. Just think about your comfort level, and just try stuff out. Try this idea out.
Yeah. No, thank you for that. I think that's awesome, and it is obviously about aligning these tactics, these engagement tactics with your brand and with how you want to be perceived, but also allowing yourself to play a bit and to push the
Yeah.
boundaries a little bit to where it's acceptable, I think is an
Yeah.
important way to approach this. Hey,
Yeah.
as we kind of wrap up here, I just want to explore because we've mentioned here your growth and your rise for your channels in Facebook itself. And I want to just say before we move on, I do want to talk about syllabi as well. So don't let me forget that we're getting there. But I want to talk about the opportunity right now for businesses in Facebook Reels,
Yeah.
Facebook Video, Facebook Watch, most importantly short form, because I think it's overlooked or
Oh yeah.
under assumed as to what's possible here. And maybe a lot of businesses are actually thinking Facebook reach is dead. There's no point really focusing much on Facebook anymore. I do want to point out, because we talked briefly about it before. You talked about switching your personal profile to professional mode. That's maybe part of the strategy there too. But can you just give us just a top level view of what you see the opportunity for businesses on Facebook video right now is?
Yeah, it's this is a really recent update on Facebook. We're talking less than a year here, where they were very stagnant. They were on the downfall, and they had a lot of negative press, right? And so they want to be as competitive as they want to be the number one platform out there, and and so they really, when they released Facebook Reels, they have been pushing it organically so heavily right now. The organic reach that you can get on Facebook Reels right now with zero following, you don't need to have any following, is insane. We have done this with dead Facebook. We have revitalized dead Facebook accounts that sat with 200 fans and no interaction for 5 years. And this is on one of our clients. He's now got 87,000 followers because we just post daily reels, and then complimentary text posts as well. And so those same like quote images and motivational stuff and really hyper relatable uh, text posts around the same subject matter as your Facebook Reels is the best strategy right now that's just repeatable, and we're seeing it work over and over and over again. So the Reels are bringing in a new organic following. And so how do you regularly engage with them outside of the uploading reels? Because let's face it, video production takes time. It takes a lot of time. And how many times can you post a reel on a day? Even the most aggressive creators, like I would say I'm pretty aggressive, and I can only do maybe two, maybe three, maybe on a given basis. But it doesn't take me that long to post a quick text post to regularly engage on Facebook.
Yeah,
And so I like Facebook's kind of like my Twitter right now. Like I'll post like 10, 15 times a day on Facebook, various stuff all over, all business related, sharing case studies, helpful information, motivational business, or marketing quotes. Um, and I really go the finesse of that too that I've really leaned into is almost cliches or black and white statements, because it's going to elicit either a positive or a negative response again. So one of the, and this was an example that Mike brought up on stage that you had mentioned at the beginning, which was just such a humbling experience.
yeah,
um, but my most viral video or text-based post around that was society's biggest problem is people wanting $30 an hour with a $3 an hour work ethic, and it's fairly controversial. And so that set off people on both sides of the argument. There just the systemic issue of America, and capitalism's evil, and then the other side of people that are like, yeah, you should get what, put in, more work, you get what you get in what you get in effort, or the more effort that you put in, the more reward that you get, the whole thing. And it went crazy. People, it got like 40, 50,000 shares, something like that. That post has reached like 5 million people at this point. But just black and white statements. Of course, that's not America's biggest or society's biggest problem. It's, but it's going to elicit an emotional response on either side. And so if you can stack these things together, you're regularly creating reels, leveraging that organic growth. You're re-engaging these people on a regular basis through your complementary content on your Facebook post or page or profile, whatever you choose to do this on. This is the magic formula right now. We're seeing this work. We haven't not had success with this format. It's been a 100% success rate the last couple of months, which is insane to say. But that format is working so well on Facebook right now. It's the biggest opportunity that nobody's taking advantage of.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you for that. And just to clarify, I mean, you're doing this through your personal profile with professional mode turned on, and these are public posts, so privacy set to
Yep.
public on Facebook. And
Yep.
are you recommending that that's what business clients do as well? Is someone in
Um,
within the organization goes through their personal profile, or are you seeing this re-engaging business pages that are typically lying dormant?
Yeah, I think both work. Right. You might remember another quote that Mike put up on stages, that I told him is, "I sacrificed my friends and family for reach," which is kind of true. If
Yeah,
you're going to switch your personal legacy Facebook profile over to professional mode, which gives you analytics and a whole suite of other tools, you're and you use it as a business tool, and you start creating only business oriented content, you have to get ready that you might isolate some of your friends and family that have been connected with you for years. Now, there's also criticisms about professional mode as well. It doesn't work for, it's not just like turn on professional mode and now you're going to be, you're going to have a million followers. It doesn't quite work that way, right? Um, Test. The reason I went in all in on the professional mode is I thoroughly tested it. I tested the same videos on my business page and on my personal profile, and the reach was astronomically more on my personal profile. And that's why, I made that switch and went all in, and said any friends or family that's not going to support me and my dreams and ambitions, like, sorry, this is my path. You can unfollow me. We'll still be fine, right? And I've never gotten any negative feedback.
yeah,
Everybody's overly supportive, but it's testing, right? And so we've had tons of pages that are doing the exact same format: reels, regular complimentary posts, um, posting like 5 to 10 times a day, and the organic reach has never been better. Even prior to the like adpocalypse on Facebook, where they just destroyed organic reach, and it became pay to play, the organic reach on Facebook has never been better. It's better now than it was before. It's a huge opportunity, but test it out.
yeah. Awesome. Thanks for clarifying. So you did mention that you've pivoted the focus of your content on Facebook towards content around AI, which is obviously
Yeah.
a very popular content that people are very interested in right now, with the
Yeah.
rise of ChatGPT and all these other AI tools. And even just watch a few of your videos, you realize that the AI tool landscape is exploding. It's crazy,
Yeah.
and you've created your own AI tool. So started a new business. Can you just give us the rundown on what led you into software, into AI?
Yeah, so we created Syllabi to address a lot of the problems that business owners and entrepreneurs face, that they're not quite ready to hire an agency, or maybe they don't have the means or the budget to hire an internal person or an internal team. And so like I've been doing social media for 18 years. I've had this agency for 4, and I've worked at an agency for 8. And a lot of the problems that business owners and entrepreneurs face is they know they need to create content, but they don't know what topics to create. They don't know what to say in their videos. They need help staying consistent and accountable. Sometimes they just don't like being on camera, and they don't have the budget. And so I've taken what we've learned in social media and our repeatable processes, and we turned it into a flow and a suite of tools within Syllabi. And so Syllabi shows you the top questions that your customers are searching for online with data, real-time data to back it up. It generates viral video scripts for short form videos or for longer YouTube videos. We have a content calendar built in, and a consistency tracker to sort of gamify it and help you stay consistent. And just this week, we're actually rolling out AI video creation. So we're incorporating a AI avatar that looks like a real person, sounds like a real person, and so it takes that viral video script that's generated and feeds it into this AI, and it actually creates the video saying a script that your customers are searching for. So you don't even need to be on camera uh, anymore. So everything that we do as an agency, we really built a tool around it at a fraction of the pricing.
It's crazy. And, anyone listening to this probably recognizes how powerful, you know, systemizing and streamlining and getting that sort of assistance that we know that AI can be so good at, just prompting ideas and getting
Yeah.
started with scripting and generating content consistently. Because I think the biggest thing that holds people back from content is just doing it on a consistent basis and not
Yep.
losing momentum because you could just get busy, right? And you
Yeah.
can, if you make that easier, then people are going to take action more consistently. And that's where
Absolutely.
AI, I think, really shines. So I mean, do you do you see use cases for this, and have you got clients using Syllabi who are using it at an agency level as well as at the individual business level? Like, does it scale to that agency level as well?
Yeah, so we're actually working on some agency plans and functionality within the app. So there are some agencies that are using it. It's not really built for agencies right now. We are rolling out some tools where you can like switch between profiles so you can focus on content for a particular client. That's not out yet, but we are actively working on all of that. We have a lot of great case studies. Um, we've had over 5,500 users so far try Syllabi. So it's been an amazing, very fast growing experience, and we're getting a
Yeah.
lot of great feedback.
That's cool. And the tagline there for Syllabi is create your social media strategy in 10 minutes. I mean, if that's not enough of a prompt for listeners or viewers of this podcast episode to go and try out Syllabi for themselves, and they can try it for free, right? Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah, 7-day free trial. Yep, syllabi.io, or I'm sure you're gonna have a link in the description.
Yeah, so I'm partnering with Syllabi as an affiliate. So if you have got value from this episode, then jump on over to Syllabi and give it a try via my link at engagevideomarketing.com/Syllabi, which is Syllaby, and that'll be a great way for you to test it out. And if you do end up using Syllabi, then a little affiliate commission comes my way, as these things tend to work. So I appreciate you for doing that. And I'd love to get you back on the show, Austin, if you're open to it. As Syllabi kind of
Yeah.
rolls out, and particularly, like, I think my audience, being video marketers, doing this for their clients, I think, you know, as we kind of get to a point with Syllabi where it's a viable thing for agencies to use, I can see so much upside there. That's huge. So
Yeah.
let's get you back and
Yeah.
let's talk about AI and Syllabi in a lot more detail that we couldn't get to in the time we had today.
Yeah, I'm happy to. Thank you so much. This was an awesome conversation. I'm just a nerd about this stuff. I love talking about it, so I'd be honored to come back anytime, and I hope it was valuable to all the listeners.
Oh man, me too. I could have kept going for another hour, but I think we'll respect your time and we'll wrap it up here. Austin, where can people find you? I mean, obviously, catch your short form videos. So they got to follow you on TikTok and everywhere, right? Facebook. Where's the best place? Where's the best place? Where do you engage most?
Yeah, so if you want to engage with me, probably Facebook is the best place. Austin Armstrong, I think I'm the most followed Austin Armstrong on Facebook now, which is cool. But at Socialty Pro across the board on whatever your favorite social media platform is.
Excellent, guys. We'll have the links to everything, including the links to try out Syllabi for yourself at engagevideomarketing.com/275. This is episode 275, so /275 to go there. And that's the show notes for this episode. Austin, it's been a pleasure to reconnect with you, and thanks for sharing so much insight, value, and awesome stuff that you've got going on. It's been awesome.
It was a pleasure, my friend. Thank you, Ben.
Okay, so that's it for this episode, and thanks for watching. To get all the links to the resources and apps mentioned in today's show, go to engagevideomarketing.com/275, and then make sure to catch the next episode right here, or tune in next week for fresh new episodes of Engage Video Marketing Podcast.